Hello students, good morning to everyone. I am Dr. S.R.BHARGAVA, Associate Professor, Department of English. Today, in the connection of the previous session, the novel Animal Farm, written by George Orwell, I would like to point out and discuss about the significance of 7 commandments in Animal Farm. The role of 7 commandments is very important in the novel because it fulfills all the chief characteristics of the novel and it is the constitution of the animal farm. In George Orwell's Animal Farm, which is a subject of the existence of society of animals living on the manor farm. Animal Farm, the name of the novel was Manor Farm in the beginning, and one first thinks that this novel is about the animals living in a farm from the title, and it appears from the title that the novel is written about only for the animals. But as the story goes on, it gradually begins to make the readers understand the depth content of the workings of society in communist Russia. But as soon as we read the novel, we begin to understand that the deepness or depth of the novel symbolizes the communist government of Russia. George has accurately compared the society of human to the animals living in the manor farm. So there is a comparison between animals and human beings. In the novel, author has compared the Russian Revolution, where animals represent the significant personage and act as the leaders in the Russian community. In 1917, there was a revolution named Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, and this novel represents the same. Animals are used to demonstrate the operation of the communist class system and how the citizens people respond to this and the effect of the leadership by early Russian leaders such as Stalin on the behavior of the people of Russia. For instance, the old major makes to the speech to the other animals about the idea of revolution. Since he dies before the beginning of the revolution, it could be compared to the Karl Marx, whose ideas set to the communist revolution in motion. The 7 commandments are considered as one of the important steps in the revolution, which changed by the rulers of the farm. This novel discusses about how the 7 commandments were altered throughout the story and whether it reflects the message of the Communist Manifesto. So in the first slide, we have seen that the beginning of the revolution in the novel started by old major. He gave the idea and it started, but he died before the revolution started. The 7 commandments are the basis or the provisions of animalism. After the rebellion took place in the manor farm, it changed to animal farm, where the set of laws was introduced to the citizens of the farm by the leaders. So the leaders of the novel were Napoleon, Snowball, and Squealer, who will be introduced later on, and they started the revolution. The set of laws which are known as the same 7 commandments. So 7 commandments are set of laws are said to be the form and unalterable law by which all animals to own animal farm must live forever after. These commandments were so important that they were painted by Snowball and Squealer in giant white letters that could be read from 30 yards away, as Orwell told. So these 7 commandments were written by the animals, Snowball and Squealer, and could be seen from 30 yards. These are 7 commandments. The original. Whatever goes upon the 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 2 legs, enemy. Whoever has only 2 legs, that is human beings, so they are enemy according to animals. Second, whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. Whoever goes upon 4 legs do belong to animals, so they are friends, or has wings, because the birds made objection because they don't have four legs, so they were convinced that they have wings, so they can be included as legs, so they are friend. Third condition commandment was no animal shall sleep in a bed, because human beings sleep in bed, so no animal shall sleep in bed. No animal shall drink alcohol, as human beings drink alcohol, but animals are against them, so they will not take drink alcohol. No animal shall kill other animals. According to the animals, that human beings kill other people, but animals told that they would not kill any other animal. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall wear clothes as human beings did, but all animals are equal. And last and final commandment was animals are equal. All animals are equal. As we see that these seven commandments were written on the basis, they were the basis, but after some time they were changed and especially kept for pigs as they categorized them. Later on, these commandments were to be followed by all the animals living in the farm at all times regardless. All the animals followed them. As one can think from the reading, the simplest phrase that explains these commandments is four legs good, two legs bad. So this line is the content of the whole commandments. As time passed by, the commandments were altered by the rulers of the farm. Napoleon the pig, who emerges as the leader of animal farm after rebellion, who very cleverly broke the commandment and reintroduced as four legs good, two legs are better. Even though the first commandment stated that anyone on two legs is bad and should not be allowed in the farm, they were wrecked in the first year. Since the pigs started walking on two legs, the first commandment was violated, and moreover, the hero of the Battle of the Cow said Snowball turned into an enemy of the farm as he was thrown out by Napoleon and allowing trading through Mr. Whymper, resulting in violation of commandments. First and second commandment were violated gradually. The pigs moved in the back farmhouse, which resulted into alteration of the first commandments. The third commandment restricts animals of the farm to sleep in the bed, which was forced to change by Napoleon with the modification of the commandment by adding with seats. So third commandment, while sleeping on the bed, also violated, adding with seats. After the rebellion took place in the farm, the first commandment overruled, which was being all animals equal. As we read throughout the story, the pigs were kept on changing the unalterable laws for their comfort, just like we saw above with sleeping in the bed. So pigs started to violate each and every commandment. They started to wear clothes sleeping in the bed. According to Napoleon, sleeping on beds is not a major change, yet it was not allowed earlier since humans lived on the farm, slept on the bed. The pigs changed the commandment so wisely that the other animals of the farm didn't think as the violation of the commandment. The next commandment to change is no animal shall kill other animal. This happens not long after the confessions and execution of animal farm, the farm that were supposed traitors and in league with Snowball. So this commandment was also started to be violated. After these executions, again Muriel, Clover and also Benjamin plus some other animals felt this didn't square with this commandment. Once again, the pigs have changed the commandments in order to justify their actions. The animals read the commandment they through did not agree. No animal shall kill other animals without cause. And then the animals see how really the commandments had not been violated. So killing of other animals relating to commandment was also started to be violated. The next commandment to change is when Napoleon abuses his power and made life harder for the other animals. The pigs impose more control while reserving privilege for themselves. Schuyler justifies every statement Napoleon makes, even the pig's alteration of the seven commandments of animalism. So Schuyler is the flatterer to Napoleon who convinces everyone, every animal about the violation of the seven commandments. No animal shall drink alcohol is changed to no animal shall drink alcohol to excess when the pigs discover the farmer's whiskey. One would never think that pigs might ever change to the commandment about the clothes as they were enough powerful to rule other animals. The seventh commandment explains that all animals in the world are treated equally without distinction. Instead of considering the commandments as unalterable laws, they were replaced by a worthless slogan, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others, which is totally opposite to that what they were introduced to other animals. Orwell has used images to make his argument stronger. He has used events to help readers to understand his thoughts. While reading, we develop a feeling of sadness inside getting attached emotionally to the story. So everyone, all the commandments started to be violated soon. Orwell has used images to make his argument stronger. He has used events to help readers to understand his thoughts. While reading, we develop a feeling of sadness inside getting attached emotionally to the story. Orwell writes in a way to target readers' emotions because they have the ability to experience and feel the pain suffered by the animals in the farm. The following scene could create a strong sorrow to the readers. So Napoleon, with the help of his dogs, slaughters anyone who is said to be disloyal. And this happens when Snowball was thrown out, Boxer was sent to butcher house. The tale of confessions and executions went on until there was a pile of corpses lying before Napoleon's feet, and the air was heavy with the smell of blood, which had been unknown since the expulsion of Jones. The topic of Napoleon outlaws beast of England, which had served as one of the only remaining ties between animal farm and the old major. And now we come to the conclusion. It's clear that Orwell intended to his novel to allegorically represent the figures and the events of the Russian Revolution, and through the characters of Mr. Jones as Tsar Nicholas, Old Major as Karl Marx, and Napoleon as Joseph Stalin, Animal Farm makes a profound statement regarding the abuse of power. The animals began the revolution with the best intentions. However, their noble ideas of utopian society where all animals are created equal gradually deteriorated it into a totalitarian state with the cruel and unjust dictator, which of course mirrors the chain of events and turned Marx's dream of a classless society into the nightmare of Stalin's ruthless regime. This evil cycle of rebellion, power, and then corruption is best described by Barbara Tuchman. Every successful revolution puts on a time the ropes of the tyrant it has deposed. So now we come to the end that this novel has a very nice message and it's still relevant in the history of communism. This novel has been teaching in colleges, universities about 50 years continuously in Rajasthan University and in other universities. And I still remember that this novel has a relevance in the modern society. The equality, socialism affect everything in society. So the seven commandments in the novel are very relevant, significant as they talk about the constitution, the set of laws, that the disparity between animals and human beings, and there is a friction in the thoughts between them. And students, thanks for your nice cooperation and listening my lecture carefully. This is the very important lesson in our syllabus. Thanks once again.